Four chefs, 4 ingredients, only one chance to win. The challenge. Create an unforgettable meal from the items their audience voted for before time runs out. Their distinguished group of subscribers will critique their work, and they must face the dreaded chopping block. Who will win their audience's taste buds, and who will be chopped? The ingredients are hearts of palm, plantains, king oyster mushrooms, and artichoke hearts. Let's meet one of our contestants.
My name is Shoemaker and I run this YouTube channel, so I think most people already know who I am. I love to create food that is vegan, obviously, but also simple and delicious. I'm not going to lie, when I first saw these ingredients, I thought the easiest choice would be to do something that is seafood related, but 1, I honestly hate seafood and think it tastes disgusting, and 2, I wanted to challenge myself, so I decided to create some mushroom veggie burgers with a mushroom and garlic aioli with a side of artichoke fries. So if you'd like to make this recipe for yourself, stay tuned because I'm going to show you how I did it.
Alright guys, back to the normal voiceover. First we're going to start out with our mushroom burgers. And I just wanted to start out by showing you the proper way to clean a mushroom. You actually want to use a damp paper towel or a damp cloth and just use this to rub the excess dirt off. And mushrooms already hold a lot of liquid, and we are trying to reduce this liquid as much as possible. So that's why we want to use this method and not run them under the sink. So as you can see, I just chopped my mushrooms into chunks, like quarters, I guess. And for this recipe, I am using some baby Bella mushrooms or cremini mushrooms, some shiitake mushrooms that I quartered as well, and last but not least, our king oyster mushrooms, which are one of the chopped challenge ingredients. So I just spread these mushrooms out evenly on the pan, and we are going to roast these in the oven to help reduce some of the liquid. In the meantime, we're going to tackle this plantain, and we're actually going to use it as a thickener for our burgers. So I took a green plantain because those are not sweet, unlike the yellow ones. I just peeled it and chopped it up, and then I put it into a pot of water, brought this to a boil, and then once it was boiling, I let it cook for an additional 10 minutes. And I cut my pieces small, so this helped it to cook faster. So after the plantain pieces are soft, you're just going to transfer them into a bowl and mash them with a fork. You don't have to make it perfect, just so there's rough chunks. And now we're going to work on more of our burgers. First up, we're going to blend some walnuts in a food processor until they form small chunks like you can see here. And then we're just going to set that aside. Then we're going to add in some white beans, some of that mashed plantain, some nutritional yeast, some poultry season, which is vegan. It's just a blend of spices, but if you don't have poultry seasoning in your pantry, you can always make your own. I have a link for that in the blog post, which is also linked below. And we're also going to add a tablespoon of tamari. Then you can just seal the lid, and you want to blend that up until it is a pretty smooth puree. Then we're going to add in most of our roasted mushrooms. As you can see, they're a lot more shriveled now, and a lot of the liquid has gone away, which is great because we don't want our burgers to be mushy. Then we're going to add in some hearts of palm, which is also one of the 4 required ingredients, as well as some yellow onion and some garlic. And then again, we're just going to seal this, and we're going to mix the mixture again until the mushrooms are cut up into smaller chunks, as well as the onion and the garlic. And then we're just going to add in some flour to help thicken the burgers more and make them less mushy, and just blend that in until it's well combined. And then last but not least, we're going to add in those walnut pieces as well as some cooked brown rice, and we're just going to gently pulse this into the burger mixture. We don't want to chop these up anymore. We just want everything to become well incorporated. So this is what the mixture looks like once you are finished, and then you can just transfer this into a bowl, and now we're going to make burger patties. I decided to make sliders, so I took a pretty small scoop, about 1/4 of a cup of the burger mixture, into my hand, and then I just formed this into a patty shape. But if you'd like to make regular sized burgers, you can do that as well. I would suggest around 1/2 a cup total, but with the burger sliders, I made about 12 total, so I put those on a lined baking tray, then I popped them in the oven. In the meantime, we're also going to get started on our artichoke fries, and this is going to use the canned artichokes. That was also a required ingredient. So I decided to cut my artichokes into quarters to make them more of a fry-like shape. However, you can also buy quartered artichokes in the store as well if you want to skip this step and make your life a little bit easier. So after you've cut all of the artichokes into 4 pieces, we're going to dry them out a bit because they are pretty wet. So I just took a clean dishcloth down and I laid all the artichokes out so there was enough space sort of in between them. And then I just folded a towel over them and used my hands to sort of press into them gently to help absorb more of the liquid. Then I set this aside while we prepared our mixes. So for our dry mix, we're going to mix some panko breadcrumbs, some paprika, and some salt together in a bowl, and then just whisk that until everything is well combined. And then for our wet mix, we're going to be using flour, some non-dairy milk of your choice, some garlic powder, some salt, and some black pepper. And then again, you're just going to whisk this together until you get a batter that is slightly thicker than pancake dough. So the key for breading things is to use a separate hand for both the wet mix and the dry mix. So you're going to take your artichoke heart and dip it into the wet mix and then slowly shake the excess batter off. And then I like to pick up some of the actual breadcrumbs with my other hand and then place the wet artichoke heart into the dry mix and cover it. And I think this way it allows it to get a little bit more evenly coated without getting too messy. And as you can see here, the artichoke heart is nicely coated in some batter. So then you're just going to repeat this process until you run out of artichoke hearts, and then you can bake these in one of 2 ways. If you have an air fryer, I would suggest cooking it this way, but I also tested it in the oven, and I will have those instructions linked in the blog post. So then our third and final thing we're going to make is a mushroom and garlic aioli, and we're just going to use a blender for this. We're going to add some soaked cashews to a blender, as well as the remainder of those roasted mushrooms, a clove of garlic, some vegetable broth, and last but not least, a squeeze of lemon juice. Then we're just going to blend that up together until it forms a nice and thick sort of aioli. As you can see here, it has a very silky and smooth texture to it. So after you make the aioli, your fry should be just about done, and as you can see, they are nice and golden and crispy on the outside, and these came out so good, guys. I was so happy. Oh, so tasty. And our burgers are also done. We did flip them halfway. The full instructions are in my blog post, but as you can see, they aren't too mushy and they have some nice texture and color on both sides. So now it is time to assemble our burgers. You can obviously add whatever you want to your burger. I found these cute little mini burger buns and I decided to add some arugula, the burger patty, obviously, a nice thick spread of that mushroom and garlic aioli. This really makes the burger and I think takes the mushroom flavors to the next level. And then I also made some quick pickled red onions and decided to top it with some microgreens for some extra health. And you can just serve it up with your artichoke fries and that extra mushroom aioli on the side, and you are good to go, guys. I hope you guys try this recipe out. I am really happy with what I came up with based on the unconventional ingredients. And I gotta say, this would be perfect for summer grilling / burger season as well. I mean, you really can't go wrong with mushrooms, at least in my opinion.
Alright guys, so that is how you make these mushroom burgers with mushroom aioli and artichoke fries. And now I am here with my friends / competitors, Jasmine and Chris, Sweet Simple Vegan. So now we're all going to do the taste test. So everyone has a burger. Jasmine doesn't have arugula on it.
I hate arugula.
Should I try to eat the whole thing in one bite?
Oh god.
I'm happy with how it came out. My first burger test was a total fail.
This is gross. I think our recipe's better.
Oh shit! Let's see about that. Oh, so what did you guys make with the ingredients? As you eat.
We made vegan crab cakes and vegan calamari. Galamad, as Chris says.
Alright.
So after you finish this, or you're pretty much to the end of this anyways, I will link their video below so you can go ahead and check it out. And then you guys have to vote in the top corner of your screen right here which recipe you think deserves to win. And excuse me. And then we're also going to do this next month because we had so much fun this month. So we'll both pin a comment below on their video and on our video, and you guys can comment recipe suggestions. Don't do any of the ingredients we did before. That
Maybe
doesn't count.
disqualified.
Oh, I didn't even try fry.
Try
They're
a fry.
bomb.
I didn't even try a fry.
Go the aioli. But yeah, vote ingredients, upvote them, and the top 4 to 5 will be in the next one. Alright, I think that's it. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you later. Bye!
Caitlin, this is bomb.
Really good.
Thanks. Oh, you admitted it!